BattMech welcomes you to our instructional video series. This instructional video is for the 2012 to 2019 Toyota Prius C hybrid battery module system. You can also use this video as a guide to replace single modules with BattMech replacement modules. This video is intended for highly trained individuals who understand the risks of working with high voltage. Risk includes loss of property or life. Repair at your own risk. Here's a look at the tools we use to make this type of repair. Here's a look at our suggested personal protective equipment, or PPE. Your shop may have different protocols to keep you safe. It's always best to follow your shop's safety protocol. We recommend using high-voltage gloves to protect you, and then putting leather gloves over the high-voltage gloves to protect the gloves. There are times during the disassembly where there is more risk of exposure to high voltage, so please be careful and wear your gloves when in doubt of your safety. We recommend placing the battery case on a non-conductive work surface. To streamline this series, this video begins after the removal of your battery from the vehicle. Let's get started. Start by removing the metal cover that houses the battery modules and the ECU. Remove both metal covers. Then continue removing the perimeter metal covers and unscrewing the plug. Now, remove the black plastic wiring harness covers. Then remove the nuts holding the orange wiring harness. Go ahead and remove the orange wiring harness. Repeat this process on the other side of the battery. Remove the wire harness cover, remove the nuts, and then remove the orange wiring harness. Once all of that is complete, you'll detach the components shown here from the case. Subsequently, you'll detach the temperature sensor wires from the battery modules. Take note of where these are located for when you reconnect the sensors to the new modules later. Then remove the black plastic insert. Similar to the other end of the battery case, you'll detach these components from the battery pack. Now that almost everything is removed from the compression block, you'll carefully flip over the disassembled battery case to focus on removing the metal bottom of the case. After the case is flipped over, you can remove the screws that hold the metal bottom cover to the battery pack. Then go ahead and remove the metal bottom cover. Now, you'll want to remove the black plastic insert and stand the compression block of batteries up to disassemble. Note, be sure these tabs are at the bottom of your stack when disassembling the compression block. Once you're sure the tabs, or sometimes referred to as metal fins, are at the bottom of the block, you'll remove the top book end from the compression block. Next, you'll remove the modules from the compression block. Now that the battery is completely disassembled, you can prepare to reassemble the battery. Carefully unpack your BattMech boxes. Everything you need to rebuild your battery, including new bus bars and nuts, will be sent to you. Your BattMech batteries are individually tested to assess leaks, capacity, voltage, and internal resistance. The highest and lowest capacities are arranged in ways to optimize the pack's performance and to optimize the differences in block voltage throughout the pack. Each pack is load tested at the same time, but BattMech monitors the voltage of each individual module when testing. Packs are tested under a high current load. Let me take this opportunity to suggest to save the cardboard boxes your modules were shipped to you in. These boxes make great return boxes when shipping your core back to BattMech. Now you're all set to reassemble the battery. You'll notice that the batteries are numbered sequentially. You'll line these battery modules up from 1 to 20, keeping them in order. Next, load your BattMech modules into the compression block. You'll load them sequentially starting with number 20. You'll finish at the top of the stack with module number 1. Note, the metal tabs should be at the bottom of the stack. The numbers should be to the left facing the metal fins. When completed, the stack of modules should look like this. Note, the metal tabs at the bottom again. The numbers should be sequential, with the highest number at the bottom nearest the tabs and the number 1 at the top of the stack. On the reverse side of the module stack, the modules should rotate from non-vent to vent. If you have 2 vents on top of each other, you have the modules out of order. The same is true if you have 2 positives or negatives on top of each other. Back to the other side of the module stack. If the numbering is out of order, you have the modules out of order. Notice at the top of the stack, on the left and right sides, the numbers are out of order and some are even turned upside down or missing. This is not correct. Of course, another thing to keep in mind is that the modules should be flush when stacked on top of each other. This is achieved by making sure these interlocking tabs on the modules are lined up where they connect to another module. If your modules are staggered, this is because your modules are not stacked properly. Pay close attention not to make these mistakes. Now that the modules are stacked correctly and in the right order, you'll tighten down the bolts to the white plastic bookend, assuring the modules stay snug in the compression block. Again, it's important the modules are stacked correctly, as any error will cause your battery pack to fail immediately or soon thereafter. It will also void any warranty that may be available for your battery pack. Now, locate the orange wiring harness and remove the old bus bars. Be careful not to pop off or ruin the connector and wire in front of the old bus bars. Repeat the removal of bus bars on the opposite side of the battery. Once the removal of the old bus bars is complete, you'll install the brand new bus bars supplied by BattMech. Install new bus bars for both sides of the orange wiring harness. Take the same care you used to remove the bus bars as reinstalling them. If you do happen to accidentally break a terminal, never fear. BattMech.com has replacement wire harnesses available. You're now ready to reassemble the battery. Start by laying your battery pack down on your non-conductive surface with the sequential numbers facing up. Now, you'll go ahead and insert the end black plastic bookend cover. Next, you'll want to attach the metal case cover. Then you'll attach the case to the modules using the screws supplied by BattMech. Go ahead and flip the case over. Then reattach the fan duct and components to the side of the battery pack. Next, you'll reattach the fan. Now, reattach the temperature sensor wires to the battery pack. Go ahead and reattach the components to the other side of the battery pack. The rest of the reassembly of the battery pack will re-energize the battery. Your shop may have different protocols to keep you safe. It's always best to follow your shop's safety protocol. You're now ready to reattach the orange wiring harness. But before you reattach the harness, please note, make sure this wire is inserted into the wiring harness, as it is likely to get dislodged. You'll also want to be sure to insert this plug into the ECU securely. Before you attach the wire harness using the new nuts supplied by BattMech, be sure your torque settings on your torque wrench are set to about 55 inch-pounds. If you don't follow these torque settings, you are likely to damage the terminals on the modules and will void your warranty. Never use max drill settings, and never use an impact wrench. Now that your torque settings are set, go ahead and attach the orange wire harness to the battery modules using the new nuts. On the opposite side, attach the wire harnesses to the modules and secure them to the battery pack using the rest of the new nuts. Now's a good time to take a photograph of each side of the battery. These photographs can be used for review of assembly if you experience issues. This may save you from having to uninstall the entire battery later. Next, you'll reattach the black wiring harness covers. You'll attach them on both sides of the battery pack. Now, you'll reattach the metal covers to the case, attaching all sides securely to the battery pack. The battery is now ready to be reinstalled into your vehicle. Here are a few pro tips. Be sure the service plug is secured properly, otherwise you'll get error codes. You'll also want to clean your cabin filter every 3 months. Be sure to clean your cooling fan. Dirty cooling fans can cause the battery to overheat. This concludes our how-to demonstration. Remember, as a highly skilled mechanic with high voltage training, to wear the appropriate personal protection equipment your shop requires. Stay safe, and thank you for shopping on BattMech.com.